Unisom helps you fall asleep fast and into WABC.
WABC traffic time 6:19. This report is brought to you by the Empire State Building. See the top of New York from the top of New York. The Empire State Building has opened a second observatory on the 102nd floor, and we're also staying up late for you, too, until 2 a.m. every day. Let's go over to 25A in Smithtown. It looks like a broken water main over by Oakside Road. Northbound BQE, real slow up by Flushing Avenue. A stalled vehicle was cleared. Over in Carmille, 301 at Gypsy Trail Road, accident with injuries. And the Garden State Parkway north by exit 90 and Brick. Some debris in the road, right in the center lane, and then an accident up by 105, just about cleared. This report is brought to you by the New York Times. Ever hold an apartment in your palm? Now you can. To learn how to get New York Times real estate listings on your mobile device, look in the real estate section in this Sunday's newspaper or online at nytimes.com/real estate, sponsored by Amerifunds. I'm Debbie Duhane. Here's the WABC Weather Channel forecast. What's happening for today, Terry?
Well, we've got ourselves sitting in between storms today, Debbie, so we'll actually enjoy some sunshine for a change around here. Not only sunshine, but fairly mild January temperatures. 40 is going to be our high. We'll start to see a few clouds drifting in later on tonight. Temperatures anywhere from the low to mid-20s. Tomorrow is when the front gets close enough that it'll keep us cloudy. By the afternoon, a few snow showers to develop. Highs will be around 34 tomorrow, so it's a little cooler. Then that storm's out of here for Friday. We're back to sunshine. It's 32. Over the weekend, we could be a little wet, maybe a little snowy on Saturday, and then Sunday right now is looking dry. Your forecast brought to you by Emergency. Does your immune system need a boost? Try Emergency's powerful immune boosting formula packed with 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. Emergency, feel the good. Well, we've got a fair sky this morning. It's a chilly 33 degrees out there right now. I'm meteorologist Terry Smith, 77 WABC.
Rush,
Hannity,
Grant,
Levin.
it doesn't get any better than that.
On 77.
WABC.
It is 21 minutes after the hour here at the Imus Morning program on the radio all over the country and on RFD TV and RFD HD in prime time. Neil Cavuto from Fox News is coming up. He's the Senior Vice President, Anchor, Managing Editor of the Business News for the entire Fox News channel and for the Fox Business Network, which is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. But
I've watched it from day one. Well, we actually, I can't discuss what we did. We're on RFD. And we're happy to be on RFD.
Yes, we are.
I was talking about Patrick Gotts, a guy who founded and owns or runs RFD. About Big Joe's Polka Show. He probably doesn't mind me telling you, this is the kind of guy Patrick Gotts is.
This is a good story. You bet.
Back when he was starting RFD, doesn't Gotts look like a, he's one of those guys could have been on that top 25 list along with me of men who look like old lesbians.
Yes, he easily could have made the list.
Anyway, Big Joe and the Big Joe Polka Show, back whenever Patrick was starting RFD, loaned Patrick $200.
Yep.
And Patrick said, if I ever get this thing going, I'll give you a show on.
Well, guess who's still on?
Well, I guess people like Big Joe's Polka Show.
No, it's great. I love Big Joe. Love the Polka Show. Love the bands. Absolutely. I do.
Why?
I don't know. It's like, it's train wreck radio.
It looks like people from all the people from Parma, Ohio, and they're all fat, and they all have white socks on.
They're all good folks.
And the polka songs are all the same.
They really are. And the bands are totally interchangeable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Big Joe looks like he weighs about 900 pounds, and he sits there and he wears something that looks like Porter Wagner used to wear.
Yeah. Some kind of keyboard vest or something. You know.
Well, they have encore performances of Big Joe's Polka Show, you know.
Damn straight. Just in case you miss it. Pick it up later.
In case you don't have TiVo.
23 after the hour.
Or unless you just want to watch it again.
Or if you're Helen Keller and you have a television.
Senator Clinton, Senator Obama at each other yesterday. Again, more.
Yeah.
Clintons must think it's okay to go after him.
Did you see Maureen Dowd this morning?
They're running for president. Of course it's okay.
No, I understand all that, but I mean, they're getting a bunch of heat from people.
Mo Dowd is kind of...
But they're winning.
I think you're right, Bernie, but she writes, Maureen Dowd in the New York Times this morning, here's her start. If Bill Clinton has to trash his legacy to protect his legacy, so be it. If he has to put a dagger through the heart of hope to give Hillary hope, so be it. If he has to preside in this state as the former first black president, stopping the would-be first black president, so be it. In other words, that they'll do anything, whatever the heck is necessary.
Another example of black-on-black crime, I guess.
Tony from downtown, 24, after they are. Well, I like Toni Morrison, and she's brilliant, but... And I know what she meant by describing Bill Clinton as the first black president, but then asking Barack Obama that the other night in that debate, I thought was bordered on... Well, I guess it was a pretty good question.
But you know what's obnoxious about that question is that, I think a lot of people were comparing him to the negative traits of black men, saying, oh, well, because he's a philanderer and he plays music and he has, he grew up poor. Like, they so associate poverty with being black, which unfortunately is true a lot of times in this country, but... there's this growing middle class of black people that exist out there. So I think that's why that question is somewhat offensive.
Do you think that's what Toni Morrison meant?
I hope not.
No,
But
not...
I do think it is the attitude adopted by a lot of African Americans who felt, closer to this man. Because, they felt he was a real guy, which is fine. But, a lot of the traits that people were, associating with his being black were negative ones.
I thought it was patronizing and condescending when I heard it. And
I thought it was because he had an affinity for fat white women.
Don Corleone is here with us this morning. What is with the cat, by the way?
It's a little pussy.
No, I see that, but I mean, to sit there and pet the cat all morning is disturbing, frankly. So.
What would you rather I do?
I don't know. No, I don't know. Anyway.
I can stroke you if you like.
James Carville's going to be on this morning, Bernie, and he mean...
See what he thinks.
He's got to be...
Mm-hmm. It is take.
No?
What? He's happy with the results, no doubt.
Don't you think?
I would think.
Yeah.
Of course, you want Hillary to get the nomination because you think that whoever the Republicans nominate can beat her. Isn't that right, Bernie?
Exactly.
Okay.
I like Obama better, nicer guy, better man, more formidable candidate, however, against the Republicans.
Yeah. I think we like her because she provides far more material.
Oh, endless.
Yeah. So.
The two of them in the White House again?
So much for being good Americans. It is 26 minutes after.
It's that time of year again. Zero Plus is back at your Jeep dealer. Now save with 0% APR financing plus a $3,000 cash allowance on select Jeep models. Get Zero Plus on Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 5-star government crash test rating. Or well-qualified returning lessees can lease Grand Cherokee Laredo for $299 a month for 36 months with $999 due at signing.
It's on to Las Vegas.
Some people may, well, all you can do is cross the border. You actually don't have to go all the way to Las Vegas.
Let's wrap this up. I want to talk to your wife. We're sick of talking to you. So
Okay, man, good morning.
See how else we can wreck your family.
Yeah, this is going to ruin your life. What else? Come on, Bob.
Let's get to that.
All right, and yes, Patriots quarterback Tom Brady no longer in the clutches of girlfriend Gisele Bündchen, and Brady is back with the Patriots. And then reports say Brady and Gisele sequestered themselves in Gisele's Manhattan apartment for almost 24 hours, opening the door solely for food deliveries. Gisele, no doubt, was reviewing game tapes with Brady. Hi, man.
Thank you very much, Bob. We'll talk to Bob's wife, one will hope, coming up here 13 minutes after the hour.
You know I can be found, sit home all alone. If you can't come around, at least please tell the phone. Don't be cruel, too hard is true. Baby, if I made you mad, something I might have said. Please forget my past. The future looks bright ahead. Don't be cruel to who heart is true. I don't want no other love, baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Imus in the morning.
The leader of the vast right-wing conspiracy, Rush Limbaugh. Today, noon to 3 on 77 WABC.
All right. I'm talking to you about Mohegan Sun now. They've got, I perhaps told you, they have this $500,000 Great Escape giveaway. Prizes include vacation spending money. It's all going on through January, all of this month and next month.
Ago. I had my first heart attack when I was 28 years old. My first stroke was when I was 30. At the time, I had 7 blood clots, and my foot just stopped getting blood. Turned all kinds of color, and as much as I tried to ignore the smell, it wouldn't go away. Every bit of this is from smoking.
Quit smoking now. Call 1-866-NY-QUITS. 1-866-697-8487. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Imus in the morning. News Talk Radio 77 WABC.
19 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program on the radio all over the country and on RFD TV and RFD HD. And I see we have our, which I've been screaming about for ever, a little ticker that runs across the bottom of the screen if you're all watching TV with the news headlines. Which I used to find annoying when I'd watch, like, Fox or something, but I don't now. I like it, so.
No, it's a way to stay close to what's happening. Sure.
Well, plus the time and all that,
yeah.
So. But you want to read the headlines carefully because they aren't like, I mean, they are, this is the news, but I'm just telling you, just want to read them carefully. So just pay attention. James Carville's coming up a couple of minutes here, then Senator Orrin Hatch. We'll talk with Pat O'Brien, the insider, about Heath Ledger, and anything that I'm sure Pat would have as much information, perhaps more than anybody, about what we need to know, but it'll have to be interesting to see her Pat's insights. Right. And then John Rich from Big and Rich. But now, we just woke her up, but here is the wife of Bob Gallerstein, who's been doing sports filling in for Warner, and Bob said that she wanted to talk to me, so here she is on line 1. Good morning, Mrs. Gallerstein.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm very well. I was sleeping.
Oh. Well, Bob, you're off today?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, what do you do?
I work at NXP in East Fishkill, New York. It's a semiconductor company.
Oh. Do you actually make the little conductors, or you do something else?
Well, we do make chips, yes. Well, we work on wafers.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Would there be anything that you could give us for free?
I don't think right now there's anything we can give you.
So I guess yours is, may I call you Sue?
Yes, you may.
Okay. I guess you were as mortified as we were when your creepy husband blurted out these couple of remarks the past couple of days, huh?
Yes, I was. Well, I found out by a phone call from a friend of mine.
Right.
Yes, I was informed from someone that was listening to your show at the time.
Sure.
And the person called me at work. Right. And he did not bring me flowers.
Pardon me?
He did not bring me flowers.
Oh, he didn't?
Uh-oh. Not the first night he didn't.
Oh, he didn't?
No. But last night he did.
Okay. When your friend called, the initial time, what did your friend say?
He said, I have to tell you what your husband just did. He goes, first of all, he goes, expect flowers tonight. I said, oh, really? Why? He goes, yes, because Ina said he better bring you flowers.
Right. Was it a male friend who called you?
Yes, it was.
Well, wait a minute here. Is the male friend trying to ace Bob out?
No, he's not.
Okay. Do you guys have any kids?
Yes, he has kids.
Oh, you do?
Oh, I have one.
Oh, you do?
I have a son that's grown.
Oh, okay.
From a previous marriage.
Oh, okay. So So Bob won't be the first one deal that hasn't worked out, right?
Wrong.
He can make this up to me.
Well, how can he make it up to you?
He has to buy me jewelry.
Well, you know, just what do you want? Because I have a guy, Rocco the Thief. Well, it's an unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
Appellation. It's Rocco Maselli over at Maselli Jewelers at in the Crystal Pavilion at where's the house? The 3rd and 50th.
Yeah.
So we can get you a deal on some stuff. What would you like?
Great. Well, I told him I want a anniversary ring, and it's a band. It looks like a wedding band, but it has diamonds all the way around it. That's one thing I want.
Right.
And then the other thing I want is a necklace. It's called an Omega, a gold necklace.
Right.
And I want a slide on it, a diamond slide.
Ay, ay,
So if I get these two things, I'll forgive him.
Did you just wake up, or are you drunk? Where's Bob going to get this money?
I just woke up.
Divorce her, Bob. Divorce her.
What do you think how much do you think these two items would cost?
Well, actually, the band, the anniversary band I want is only $1,000. That's not that bad.
Okay, that's $1,000 at a regular jewelry store.
Yeah.
I can get a lot better deal than that.
Okay.
How about the dopey necklace?
The Omega chain, that's not really. I could probably get that for say $700 or $800.
So we're looking at bust out retail $2,000.
What the diamond slide though? That's more.
How much
The
more would that
diamond
be?
slide that goes on the chain. That could be maybe $1,000 or more, depending upon what size diamond you get.
Shoot me.
So now we're looking at $3,000.
It's either that or asbestos pajamas for Bob.
Uncontested divorce, $300.
Well, we're going to write all this down, and let me see what we can. Now I feel sort of responsible because we
put it out for bids.
Let me see what I can come up with. Okay, Sue.
Okay, very good. I think that's pretty cheap compared to what he did. Considering what he did, I don't. Right?
Oh no, I agree. God bless you. You just hang in there.
Okay, thank you.
All right, 25 after the hour.
I took one look and I was fractured. I tried to walk, but I was lame. I tried to talk, but I just stuttered. Why, what's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name? What's your name?
Imus in the morning.
Warning, if you're about to buy hardwood flooring, you're going to pay too much. That's right. If you're buying top quality hardwood flooring in oak, cherry, walnut, even pine flooring, you are about to spend hundreds, even thousands more than you should. That's because nobody sells hardwood flooring for less than Lumber Liquidators. To prove it, they'll even send you their beautiful full-color catalog absolutely free. It's filled with valuable information you must see, and it's yours free when you call 1-800-883-4811. At Lumber Liquidators, they ship top-quality flooring directly to you. Even Bellawood, the pre-finished hardwood flooring with a 50-year warranty. Lumber Liquidators is where Ty Pennington gets the flooring he uses for his weekly makeover show. And if it's good enough for Ty, well, if you're looking at hardwood flooring, don't pay too much. Visit a store in New York City, Wappingers Falls, or Hauppauge, New York, in Norwalk, Connecticut, and in Cherry Hill or South Hackensack, New Jersey. Or call for your free catalog, 1-800-883-4811. That's 1-800-883-4811. 1-800-883-4811.
Mark Simone with solid gold music and fun. This and every Saturday night at 6.
News Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Are you in sales or do you own your own business? If so, I want you to think of a number. Think of the amount of money you'd like to make this year. Do you have it? Okay, so what's stopping you? It's not your drive. It's not your skills. Chances are it's your ability to find new leads. It's not easy. But what if someone had already done the work for you? What if with one phone call you could get your hands on as many new sales leads as you could handle and actually make that number you have in your head? It's not too good to be true. It's Sales Genie, the largest provider of the most up-to-date sales leads, mailing lists, and business credit reports. And they want to give you 100 sales leads absolutely free. No matter what you're selling or who you're selling to, Sales Genie has the sales leads and mailing lists you need. And right now, they'll give you 100 sales leads absolutely free. Call Sales Genie at 1-800-600-6842 and get 100 sales leads for free. Call 1-800-600-6842. 1-800-600-6842. 6842.
Influenza hospitalizes 20,000 kids under age 5 each year. Get your children and yourself vaccinated against influenza. Call your doctor today. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Do you love New York City and meeting new people? Become a Big Apple Greeter volunteer. Welcome visitors from around the world by showing them neighborhoods you know well. Learn about visitors in their hometowns. Gain a new view of New York and help to make the world a friendlier place. Flexible volunteer schedules available every day of the year. Foreign language speakers and New Yorkers with disabilities welcome. Go to bigapplegreeters.org or call 212-669-3429. 212-669-3429.
After John Gambling,
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the era of limbo.
it's Rush at noon.
I say it, you believe it. That's the rule.
Then Sean at 3.
We'll have the best, most comprehensive terror, election, and war coverage, and we'll set you straight.
And Mark Levin at 6.
These left-wing 1960s retreads who've taken over the Democrat Party, they hate America. There, I said it. Live with it.
On the new home of Imus in the morning. 77 WABC.
It's a clear 27 degrees. Good morning. I'm Charles McCord with some of the stories you're going to be talking about all day on News Talk Radio 77 WABC. Lawmakers in Washington said to be close to reaching a deal on a $145 billion economic stimulus package. The New York Times reports lawmakers say they will speed the package through Congress and hope to have it approved by mid-February. The news comes as markets around the globe and Wall Street have had turbulent days over fears the U.S. economy is in fact heading into a recession, in the estimation of some already there. Tests conducted on the body of actor Heath Ledger have come up inconclusive. The city medical examiner's autopsy finding nothing in Ledger's bloodstream to indicate the actor died of a drug overdose. The Emmys office says more tests are underway and will require 10 days to 2 weeks to complete. The 28-year-old Hollywood star found dead in his Soho apartment on Tuesday with several pills, or at least bottles of pills, found in the vicinity of the body.
No dignity in all of this, though, with all this speculation and so on. And is there? All these various reports and all that sort of thing.
There's no what?
Dignity.
No. No, I mean, it's all purely speculative at this point.
My voice is shot again today. I don't know what's the matter here. If somebody makes their living talking on the radio, I need my voice straightened up, but I don't know what to do.
Well, we discussed it last evening. You are suffering from a degree of congestion, as a lot of people are right now, including Kareth, including me. I don't know what it is. Don't understand. Checking the WABC Weather Channel forecast, mostly cloudy and cold today with a little bit of snow possible this evening. Not talking about any accumulation particularly. The high of 35. It's 27 degrees right now. I'm Charles McCord on 77 WABC with breaking news and stimulating talk all day long.
30 minutes after the hour, here on the I'm Still Waiting program. Senator Orrin Hatch is coming up, then Pat O'Brien, then from Big and Rich, John Rich, and that's this new show called Gone Country that debuts on CMT here in, what's the day today? 24th, tomorrow. Man, so I don't, it's not like we have to wait a long time for this. Anyway, here from yesterday's Carville. Please welcome to the Imus in the Morning program, one of America's best-known political consultants, and an I fave and a Chuck fave. And
you bet.
And an America fave. James Carville. Good morning, Mr. Carville.
Good morning to you, Mr. House. How are you this morning?
Hi, baby. How are you?
Well, I think the Dow is down like 197. I'm looking at the screen. Generally, what you do is multiply the S&P times 9, and that'll give you a rough figure.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the S&P is down 10. The Dow should be down around 90.
So I was talking with your buddy and ours, Paul Begala.
Oh, yeah?
And he was all exercised over that nitwit from Fox who even though Paul called him and told him he wasn't working for Hillary. He had no intention of going to work for Hillary. Still reported he was going to go to work for her.
Right. The guy said, I'll take that into consideration. And he went out and reported the same thing. But I guess I told Paul is, why would the fact that Fox is reporting something wrong and stupid, why would that upset you? If they reported something right, then you should call somebody.
Well, now, wait a minute. You're picking on our homeboys over there. Anyway, are you working for Hillary?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, we'll take that.
I'm a friend of the family. I was out there in Nevada, and,
We'll take that into consideration, James.
Yeah, we'll take it into consideration.
So, is Mary upset that Fred dropped out?
I think it did. upset. I think she's like, ready to move to the next phase, and it was kind of inevitable, I think, if he didn't do well. She's over there on the computer, and she's, tooling away and trying to figure out where to go next.
When you mentioned you were out in Nevada, so do you advise Hillary at all, or is that none of my business? Or
I describe myself as a friend of the family who sometimes offers. I don't say I advise anybody, but I offer an observation or two along the way.
What did you think about the debate the other night when it just went nuclear?
Well, unfortunately, I was in the middle of a speech, so I only saw the coverage and I saw the excerpts from it. And, running for the president is a big endeavor. Being president is a big endeavor. People get very jacked up and cranked up about it, and it spills out in the TV, thank God, and the public gets a look at it, and that's about what happened. I'm not one of these people, and oh my God, it was look, it's politics. It didn't seem to be any lines crossed or anything like that. They're two people believe in what they're trying to do, and they're two competitive people, and it showed up, and we ought to be celebrating that. And it's all this whiny and what's going to happen, and oh my God, and they're attacking each other, and shut up. Stay back. I mean, gee whiz. The smartest guy out there right now, and you ought to get him on the show, is Jeffrey Toobin.
Oh, yeah, I like
Jeffrey. What are people talking about?
Good idea.
I mean, and they go, and they got every gas bag in the world. Look, this is a big time in American history. It's a big job. And you got people that are running for it that actually think that they're better than the other person.
Bernard made
they both, deep down inside, believe they would be a better president.
Bernard made the observation when I came in. I said, I thought that was just despicable. Because I was the kind of person that you just made fun of. I just way overreacted, and Bernard reeled me in and said, one, it was great, and two, that if you're Senator Obama, you can't go in there and be whining about Bill Clinton. I mean, that was...
Don't whine. Look, they're going to send a lot tougher after me than Bill Clinton if I'm president of the United States.
Mm.
I understand. I mean, he could have done it with humor. And, I understand that sometimes we get a little exaggerated in the defense of our spouse, and we can take that. We need to discount that. But, yeah, all the whining and good Lord, all of everybody, oh, my God, he's demeaning himself. And, shut up. All these people ought to all go just take a wet shower.
Well, James, some prominent Democrats, some prominent black leaders have urged President Clinton to tone it down, but obviously you don't think that's good advice.
I'm thinking some have urged him to jag it up. I mean, he you know what? He ain't got an accelerator. He got a switch, and that switch is on right now.
I asked Charles. I said, "Is there anything?" I asked Charles. I said, "Do you think there's anything the Clintons would not do?" And Charles said, poison a municipal water supply.
Oh. You know what? There's a ton. You know what? They're competitive, and they get out, and they fight hard. I'll tell you what they wouldn't do is steal an election, which this other crowd did. So, I mean, look, you're right. They're competitive. He's out there. And all of the same people that are complaining, by the way, about Bill Clinton were the same people 6 months ago saying Bill Clinton really didn't want his wife to win. I mean, a broken clock is right twice a day. You think this anti-Clinton crowd will be right once in their lifetime. And the thing about the Clintons is, remember this, Don, Chuck, they're always saved by their enemies. As soon as they get in trouble, here comes Ken Starr riding in. Then Iowa happens, and you had everybody. You had Chris Matthews and the New York Times and everybody just prematurely breaking out into this great cheer. They were all dancing and hooping and hollering, and, these New Hampshire Democrats saw that and said, wait a minute, I like these people. I don't want this to happen. Their enemies always rescue them.
22 till the hour, we're talking with James Carville here in the Imus-WABC program. One of the things I say to my wife, and I say to Charles and others, and not to patronize you, because you've been on the program, I've known you for years, and you wouldn't want that and don't need it, and I wouldn't do it. But
go ahead, anyway.
I need to make a point. That you're one of the most loyal
decent, moral, ethical people I know that I've ever met, and I've met a lot of people. And every time I think that Hillary Clinton is Satan, which of course I do, but I think, and I said to Deirdre, and then I said, but Carville must know something. Well, what is it you know that I don't?
You know, people that know her, you always can tell if somebody really knows Hillary or doesn't. The people that know her really love her. I mean, you look at her staff turnover is the least by far than anybody in the history of Washington. The people that work for her are just crazy about it. And it's funny, she's like really genuine, kind of warm person. She's a very, the other thing about her that I like, and I think it would make her a good president, is she's not a frivolous person. She doesn't take things lightly. Last night, I guess it was, no, night before last, I was in had a speech, and it was a defense contract. And he said, man, I met with her, and she knows what she's talking about. She doesn't take things lightly. Do I think that there's a side of her that sometimes doesn't emerge, or that maybe the campaign hasn't allowed to emerge? Do I disagree sometimes with their strategy? Yes. But I'm telling you, at the core is a remarkably warm and bright and woman that takes people, and she takes problems seriously. And I think that's important to have in a president. I really do.
Probably an idiotic question, but she gets a nomination. Do you think she can be elected?
Yeah.
You do?
It's going to be tough, but I mean, I know the country would really prefer not to have another Republican in the White House.
Even McCain?
Yeah, they'd prefer not to. Yeah. I mean, I saw McCain last night saying the fundamentals of this economy are sound. Mm-hmm. He'll be hearing that if he's a nominee. But it's going to be, look, over there is going to be a they got a long way to go. And so do we. This thing is, Obama is, let me say something here. This is a guy who's got 400,000 contributors. And he's a skilled candidate. He has something that he's, that has ignited a significant portion of the Democratic primary. He's a competitive guy. And people in this whole elite chatterari, they ought to just sit back and say, you know what, there's two talented people out there, and they both think they're better than the other. They can do a better job than the other one. And you know what, when you watch the Super Bowl, I want the Giants to believe that they're better than the Patriots. That's what being an athlete is. That's what being a good politician is. And you're right, sometimes you might have a little something break out here and there, a little, you know what I mean, a little scuffle, but the Marlin and Myrtle Beach or whatever you want to call it. All right, that happens sometimes. But in both of these people, Democrats basically like both of their candidates. And so I think, well, this is going to be the race of the ages. Just sit back and enjoy it for what it is. People are going to make mistakes along the way. They're going to say some dumb things. Some feelings are going to get hurt. But man, this is too good. This is too good to be true.
I mean, just from a theatrical sense, not that we should look at this as theatrics, but in fact it is. Everything is.
Why not? Yeah.
It is enormously entertaining. I'm ashamed to admit this, but during the debate, I had my computer on, and the New York Times was live blogging this. I mean, I can't believe I did this. I need to go to the ranch and stay there. But anyway.
So you can learn what to think as you're watching it.
Yeah. Well, no, I wanted to see what they were saying because it was just so. It was just so acrimonious, and it was. I agree with you. It was great.
Yeah.
However, the observation many people made was that there would be no way. I thought this was a silly observation, and it's a long, convoluted way to ask the question of you, James Carville, but they said that because of the exchange between Senator Clinton and Senator Obama, there was no way that one or the other would ask the other one to run with him, but that's not true, is it?
No. In fact, if anything, the likelihood that you have a Clinton-Obama Clinton ticket gets increased because, and that's not unheard of. There was no way that Kennedy would ask Lyndon Johnson to run, or there was no way that Reagan would ask Bush to run. Again, this is just flap-trap idiocy. There's a whole history here, and if the party, hopefully it doesn't, if the party has any way, has any chance to split, then you very much have to consider ask another person to run. And again, these are two people that are competitive in nature, and these are two fighters. And these are things that I actually think are good in a president. The New York Times, they just want to sit there and pontificate. They don't know the first thing about politics. And I'm serious, and all they want to do is whine and pontificate. When you're in this thing, you're competitive, and you believe. I never ran a campaign where I didn't think that we were better than the other guys, and you didn't want to win. And what they're doing is they're not doing anything. They're contrasting. Hey, you're on the board of Walmart. Hey, you're the slumlord. Hey, you know what? Air it out, fellas. Or if not in this case, it's more than fellas. Air it out a little bit. Let's hear it.
Do you think Senator Clinton wants Edwards on the stage there?
Do I think she wants him on the stage? Yeah. My guess is if me, we already know that the nominee that Edwards is not going to be the nominee. We know we got two highly skilled, interesting people. Let's get after it.
So he should just go home.
Let's. Edwards gave a good accounting of himself, and let's stand back and let this thing go on. And we Democrats like both. That both of their candidates are highly thought of in the party, and both of them are very unique, and both of them are highly competitive, and we all want to see this.
Bill Clinton says the media is on the tank for Senator Obama. NBC News has already acknowledged, at least Brian Williams and some of the rest of them have, that it's difficult to be objective when covering Senator Obama. So my question is...
But who cares? Of course they are. The reports of the press room the night of New Hampshire, that it was like a morgue in there. But this is advice that I have repeated to the Clintons. They're never going to be for you. So what? Bill Clinton's the most popular human being on Earth. And you're right. Is Maureen Dowd going to have a hissy in the paper? Sure. Okay, that's fine. She always does. But don't worry about it. I mean, I'm serious. It's not going to. There's nothing more that they can say. And are they going to get all jacked up? And is the coverage going to be unfair? And of course it is. But don't worry about it. It's certainly not going to change between now and the time. And they so desperately want someone that can give the commencement address at Williams, and we'll all feel good about it.
Say hi to Mary and the kids.
That's right. I will, man.
Thank you, baby.
Y'all great.
James Carville here on the Irish in the Morning program. I can get any better than him, does it? It's irrelevant whether you agree with it or not. It's not my point of putting these people on. I love James. Great Smokey Robinson. Oh, darling.
I don't like you, but I love you. Dreams that I'm always thinking of you. Though you treat me badly, I love you madly. You really got a hold on me. Really got a hold on me.
Unisom helps you fall asleep fast and into your natural healthy sleep cycle so that you wake up restored and refreshed. For sleep that restores, choose Unisom.
Right. Which means I don't know where my stuff is. Oh, here it is.
All right.
The fiscal year end is here. Well, no, it's not. It's just a year end. Is it? When does the fiscal year end end? Oh, it's June, May 30. Well, all right.
NBA's Miami Heat lost their 15th straight game, but the oft-injured Shaquille O'Neal told ESPN Radio that he will not retire at the end of the season. Yankees and second baseman Robinson Cano close to a 4-year extension with a 2-year option. And while Tiger Woods is just 2 strokes behind the leader Troy Madison after the first round of Buick Open, commentator Kelly Tillman returned to the announcer's booth and apologized again for the controversial lynch comment about Tiger Woods.
Over the last 2 weeks, I've taken the time to reflect and truly understand the impact of what I said. While I did not intend to offend anyone, I understand why those words were hurtful. I am terribly sorry for any hurt that I've caused. I would like to express my deepest apologies.
As we throw it back to the I-Man.
You know, I just don't buy that you slept at this. I mean, why did I...
I don't understand people sleeping at the radio station. I mean, aren't there hotels all over New York?
It doesn't pay to go to a hotel. Yes, there are hotels all over New York. But I just felt like
you didn't just snap at me, did you, Bob?
No, I didn't.
He's tired. He slept on the floor last night.
Oh,
He's
very
cranky.
good point.
Took a couple cushions off the sofa, put them on the floor of the conference room, and here I am. Standard operating procedure in radio.
Yeah, you look a little too nice this morning for that. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, he does. He's got a nice suit on and everything. Something's up.
yeah, we're not buying any of this. I mean, come on here. Quarter after the hour. Yeah, I'm smart for you. Number one country song in America is Taylor Swift.
I was riding shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. He's got a one-hand feel on the steering wheel, the other on my heart. I look around, turn the radio down. He says, baby, is something wrong? I say nothing, I was just thinking how we don't have a song. And he says, our song is a slam of screen doors, sneaking out, it's tapping on your window when we're on the phone and you talk real slow, 'cause it's late and your mama don't know. Our song is the way you laugh, the first date, man, I didn't kiss her and I should have. And when I got home, for I said amen, asking God if he could play it again.
Something's happening. But I'm not quite sure what it is, but something. It seems like the Clintons. I mean, I don't know. It just seems so 90s. You know, don't they?
Well, that's quite a compliment coming from a guy who's so 40s. and can't remember the 70s or 80s.
Coming up on 13 after the hour, time for a little sports. Bob Galassine here from 1050 ESPN Sports Leader. Why'd you sleep at the station last night?
Yeah, because one of our sports anchors at 1050 ESPN suffered a bad case of the flu, still suffering, and so I got a call.
Like that hat you have on this morning, Bob, wearing a cowboy hat.
Well, all I can say, I'm when in Rome.
But that doesn't fit you, does it?
It's a little loose, but actually
it's not loose. Loose is too tight.
Really?
Yeah.
Look like
Where
a
did you get
cartoon.
it?
This is a hat that was custom made for me. It was a gift from my parents in the late 80s.
What kind? When you were 14? Really?
Let's ride the pony,
From
Bob.
Durango, Colorado. It's an authentic cowboy hat.
Well, so you stayed at the station again last night?
Yes, I did. Slept on the floor, same seat cushions.
You look like a flabby mushroom. I'm sorry, Bob.
That is really, that's a harsh, Charles.
That's the real reason why I slept at the station last night.
All right, what's going on?
I'm in. Super Bowl send-off at Gillette Stadium. Patriots owner Robert Kraft addressed about 15,000 fans.
We hope to come back from Arizona perfect. 19-0.
Maybe Kraft should concentrate on owning instead of public speaking and leave the speeches to that well-known orator, Bill Belichick.
Nobody's given you more than these players have given you this year. I'm sure they'll give it to you again this week. Thank you.
There you go. No limp noted from Tom Brady, who said after the Patriots arrived in Arizona that he did injure his right ankle in the third quarter against San Diego, but that he'll be fine for the Super Bowl.
Hey, how about the Cavaliers going to L.A. and beating the Lakers?
And LeBron James with 41 points, and he bested Kobe Bryant, who had just 33. So good for LeBron. Absolutely.
No.
Novak Djokovic captures the Aussie Open. Tiger Woods an 8-stroke triumph at the Buick Open.
I figured, this is my 13th season on tour, and just kind of getting into my stride of my career.
I guess 8-stroke victories are nothing. St. Paul Pioneer.
Well, he bogeyed 3 holes in a row. I don't know if he's ever done that, and still won by 8 strokes. Still won by 8 strokes.
I think he might have bogeyed 3 holes in a row at one of the British Opens when the weather was just absolutely miserable. But he's still
that good. He's like Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan was a great blues guitar player, and he was just so much better than everybody else. And I'm sure he didn't practice anymore. There's just something there. It's just like Michael Jordan or I don't know. It's not a Stevie Ray Vaughan, but I mean Tiger Woods is just it's ridiculous.
Stevie Ray Vaughan is great.
Tiger Woods has gone beyond raising the bar. Yes. St. Paul Pioneer Press reports a Johansson tenor trade likely to the Mets could occur within 10 days. And will the idiotic politicians in many states who have repealed laws banning ticket scalping please stand up? Super Bowl tickets with a face value of $700 and $900 are now averaging about $4,300 on the popular online ticket resellers. I'm in.
Thank you very much, Bob. It is something it's worth getting RFD TV. Call your cable company or call DirecTV and get us out.
Bob's a weirdo.
It's worth getting it just to see Bob. He's a knucklehead. 16 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. Blind Boys of Alabama will be here tomorrow. Is that right, Lou?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Damn. Come on.
I'm gonna lay down my bird on way down, way down, way down. I'm gonna lay down my bird on way down. Ain't gonna study one no more. I ain't gonna study. Ain't gonna study one no more. 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 Ain't gonna study one no more.
Imus in the morning on 77 WABC.
Coaster of a ride. One day you're cruising the top of the polls, the unchallenged front runner, not a care in the world. And the next, you got about as much chance of being elected as a flag-burning, swastika-wearing pedophile with genital herpes. Which is about how Hillary feels this morning, if it weren't for the fact that a flag-burning, swastika-wearing pedophile with genital herpes would have probably done better in South Carolina than she did. And of course, it's all my fault. A couple weeks ago, I was the asset to the campaign that got her over in New Hampshire and Nevada. But this morning, Hillary looks at me and goes, Scott Peterson was a better husband than you. Hedda Nussbaum didn't have it as bad with her old man as I do. And it's all because the exit polls in South Carolina suggest that it was my attacking Barack Obama that turned voters off to us. Well, that just sounds like a crock to me. I mean, we're talking the South here. Let's face it, the only two kinds of women they like are Daisy Duke types or Minnie Pearl types. So if you're an intelligent, outspoken lady with a voice that could grate cheese, you're not going to do all that well. You got to either look good in a thong or be funny. And hell, she wouldn't even look funny in a thong. It would just be disturbing. And as if we already don't have our work cut out for us, Caroline Kennedy comes out in the New York Times for Barack Obama. I mean, she doesn't come out, although I'd be willing to float that little notion if I thought it might help derail his campaign. But with a Kennedy on board, we could get Jesus to take a full-page ad in the Times endorsing Hillary, and it wouldn't be enough. I'm scared, because if she don't come on top on February 5th, I'll be out on my ass. I'll be cruising freeway rest stop bathrooms, perfecting my wide stance.
25 after the hour here on the Imus in the Morning program. This is from the Imus Ranch record, Little Taste of... God, this is a great record, Becca Bramlett.
In a sandalwood frame, we bought in New Mexico. I was wearing a chain that old Indian made that we practically stole. Little shells in a jar, found in Honolulu Bay. Yeah. Got those matching tattoos and those $10 shoes to remember our stay. If it hadn't been so good, I wouldn't feel so sad. If we hadn't been so happy, baby, it wouldn't hurt this bad. You told me this last summer I'd be on the floor laughing. This is standing around, breaking down. wondering what happened. I was in the morning on 77 WABC.
Bad things. Jabba the Hutt. Matt Taibbi from Rolling Stone. I mean, and he suggests that Senator Obama has a vagina. So it's very tough on both of them.
That's lovely.
And man, Teddy was fired up yesterday, wasn't he, Bernie?
Yeah. Oh, well, what was he doing this morning? The morning before the speech? A couple of pops?
I don't know why.
Yeah, no, because he was fired up. He was angry. He was screaming. He was yelling. Spittle was coming out of his mouth.
And well, that's the whole thing was. I don't know what to make of it except dramatic. Nevertheless, whatever. It was great theater. And
he hates the Clintons, though. You can see that.
Oh, well, say that's the thing about it that's so great is that they all hate one another.
Actually, he doesn't. There's a great picture. I'm not sure if you can find it, but there's a great picture at AP that may be a Pulitzer Prize winning photo where last night after the State of the Union, he actually makes an effort to reach over. He shakes Hillary's hands, and they're smiling, and they're laughing about something. And at the same time, Barack is standing right next to them with his back faced to both of them.
He hates her, Tony. You are so naive and absurd.
All right.
Because he shakes hands with her?
He hates her husband.
He hates her.
Have you talked to Ted Kennedy?
No, but I'm not naive. I mean, of course they all hate.
Naive? You wear this hat every morning. You told me you're not naive.
And you wear those stupid sweaters.
That's right. I have the decency to cover my neck. You, on the other hand.
Idiotic Pilates class. We'll get to you later. Anyway, Kara Foster, Tony Powell, Liberfino, Bernard McGirt, Bigfoot, and Christie, and Charles, and we're all here. So, anyway, it's time for some news now. And it's already gotten ugly. Just with the staff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's he likes Hillary Clinton. Oh, God. I mean,
he married Joe Kopechne there yesterday.
Yes, I mean, he hates her, and we hate
like
her.
Mary Jo
Everybody
took
hates
her swimming, didn't he?
Anyway, here's Chuck with the news. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning, I-Man. The President delivered his final State of the Union to Congress and the nation. One of the key matters on the agenda, the nation's economic fix. Mr. Bush says the American people, in fact, can fix the economy.
To build a prosperous future, we must trust people with their own money and empower them to grow our economy.
Mr. Bush also talked about successes in the war in Iraq. Reaction swift to that. Washington, D.C. Democratic Delegate Eleanor Norton, for one, says she was unimpressed.
This is the president leaving office with every major domestic and foreign policy issue facing our nation twice as much of his own doing. A lot to make up for in one speech.
In the Democratic response, Kansas Governor Kathleen Sebelius spoke of the grave consequences of the Iraq war, including casualties and a lack of resources to address the challenges in America as a result of the expenditure of the war.
Yeah, sure.
All eyes on Florida's GOP primary today, where it is do or die for presidential candidate Rudy Giuliani.
We need someone who has accomplished big things in the past. I'm the candidate who has the record. I'm the candidate that's been tested. I'm the candidate that is ready to lead. Now I need your support here in Florida.
You know, the people that have been voting in Florida, as you all know, for almost a month. And when they started voting, Rudy was way ahead, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes.
Wasn't he ahead as early as the first of the month?
The collapse is relatively recent, but also precipitous for Rudy Giuliani. And there's a new Reuters Zogby poll that spells trouble for him. It has him now battling Mike Huckabee for a distant third place with just 13%. John McCain remains in the lead, according to Zogby, at 35%. Mitt Romney second place with 31%.
But a bunch of people could have already voted for him. That's my point.
Yes.
Not a very good point, but it's
not enough.
Well, this is like the Super Bowl tonight for us, isn't it?
Huge.
No.
Yeah. And a gathering.
Because he said again yesterday, flatly, he's going to win.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's over.
Yeah. So I saw a suggestion somewhere on the wires this morning that he will make a decision Wednesday, tomorrow. So,
well, he can make it. He could make it now if he wanted to, but I guess he wants to wait until the report comes in. 12 minutes after the hour here in the Imus of the Morning program. Time for sports. Warner Wolf is on vacation. Bob
soaking up the sun, man.
Yeah, Bob had to go somewhere. I don't know what his deal is.
Yeah.
And we were going to get Max Kellerman to do it. But and I guess he expressed some willingness or no, Bernie?
Oh, yes, he did, yeah.
He did. But then his agent got involved, and then it became, so I'll do it.
Man.
But Max is welcome anytime, so.
Sure.
He's great, but he's not going to be here this morning because his agent got involved. I don't know what. Anyway, the countdown is on to Super Bowl 42. There are 5 days left. They'll play, and they had practice yesterday. And Tom Brady apparently was limping, but I think that's just jive. Hornets back on top of the NBA's Western Conference basketball situation. Beat the Nuggets in New Orleans, 117-96. The NHL regular season, they had an all-star hockey game in Atlanta someplace for some time.
When?
I don't know, the day maybe, and somebody won.
Did they tell anyone?
Roger Clemens' agent released a 49-page statistical report Monday in an effort to refute allegations that Roger's career rebounded through steroid use, and of course it's nonsense. Yeah. Mike Lupica is going to the Super Bowl tomorrow, and he has said that he will call us on Thursday and Friday.
Excellent.
So that's pretty heavy duty if you get him to be our reporter at the Super Bowl, because
yes, it is.
We're not going to send anybody and pay for it ourselves. That's just not going to happen. Longtime college football coach Larry Smith died Monday after a bout with leukemia and lymphoma. Mr. Smith was 68 years old, and he coached at Arizona, SC, Tulane, Missouri, led the Trojans to 3 Rose Bowls between 1987 and 1992. Oh, that's hard to hear that. There'll be some college basketball games and other games and stuff, but we just can't.
That's just enough.
Concern ourselves with it because it's just nonsense, and we just don't need to worry about it. Coming up this morning, Michael Beschloss, Senator Joe Lieberman, who's out on the campaign trail with McCain, Jeff Greenfield from CBS Sports, and the Blind Boys of Alabama. This is Patty Loveless from the Imus Ranch album, just a little taste of her version of Stevie Nicks' Silver Springs.
You could be my silver spring, my blue-green color splashing. I would be your only dream. You're shining on a motion crashing. And did you say she was pretty? And did you say that she loves you? Baby, I don't wanna know. I begin not to love you. Turn around, see me running. I'll say I loved you years ago and tell myself you never loved me, no. And did you say she was pretty? And did you say that she loves you? Baby, I don't wanna know. Oh, no. And can you tell me what she worth is? Really, I don't wanna know. Oh, no. Time cast a spell on you, but you won't forget me. I know I could have loved you, but you wouldn't let me. I'm in the morning on 77 WABC.
Get a powerful immune boost and more from Emergency. 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, energizing B vitamins, and grapefruit flavors. Emergency. Feel the good. Well, right now we're partly cloudy and 31. I'm Terry Smith, 77 WABC.
22 minutes after the hour here, the I'm Swing program on the radio all over the country and on RFD TV. Out at Newsday.com, which is a big newspaper here on the East Coast, huge newspaper actually on Long Island. they're having a, you can vote on, you go to newsday.com, and you can vote on which channels you would like Cablevision to add to their lineup. And the choices are the American Life Network. Well, they run the vintage TV shows in the 60s like Combat, Batman, Time to Lou Grant, that kind of stuff. Style, which is a channel of fashion for whatever. Boomerang, which is cartoons, mostly Hanna-Barbera stuff. Sleuth, which is a channel for like the old Miami Vice, Rockford File stuff. DIW, which is a thing for do-it-yourselfers. And RFD TV. Great. Which simulcasts the Imus the Morning radio program, which you might want to. Yeah. So go to newsday.com and vote for. We'll vote for RFD. That's what you should vote for.
Suck it in. Come on.
In the current issue of Rolling Stone, the Blind Boys of Alabama's new album, Down in New Orleans, 3.5 stars, rave review. It's available from Time Life Records. You can buy it anywhere. Go to Amazon.com and order it. And please welcome now to the Imus Morning program, Blind Boys of Alabama.
People get ready, there's a train a-coming. You don't need no baggage, you just. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, you just.
People get ready for the train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Life is the key, unlocks the door to boredom. We're hopeful, you don't need no ticket, oh, you just thank the Lord. I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe in the Lord. I believe, I believe, I believe in the Holy Ghost. I believe that Jesus died. Hung on the cross from the sick to the light out. If I believe one day, coming back, Jesus, y'all gonna hear me. I believe, I do
believe. Blind Boys of Alabama. They'll be back. We'll talk to Jimmy Carter. I'd love to hear Jimmy sing. I love to hear all of them sing. I love Jimmy. Anyway, they'll be back. Sing a bunch more stuff. We'll talk to them coming up. It's 27 after the hour.
I got to quit, but for too long, we've been trying to do it by ourselves. That's why we always having you embrace somebody. That's why we're always telling you, join hands with somebody. Because the body of Christ has got to come together. And now the time is out clan mentality. When you do that, you get a fighting mentality. It's time for us now to find our Hispanic, even though you may not speak Spanish. But if you can just say one or two words, it's time to embrace your Spanish speaking member of the body of Christ. It's time to grab a hold to your white member of the body of Christ and say, come on, you don't have to stay home. You are welcome in my church because we're going to exalt his name together. No, no, no. We're not going to have a civil rights rally. We're going to have a praise gathering. We're not going to have politicians talking about vote for me, but we're going to crown him King of Kings and Lord of Lords. It's time to get together. It's time. In the morning.
Rash, skin irritation, dry skin. Reach for Gold Bond medicated cream for fast, long-lasting relief. It's the quick fix for almost every itch.
I've been beat down, broken, you I drank with Hank, talked blues with Billy, rocked with Mustang, with shotgun Billy, went from small-time Billy to big-time Bobby, from 3-day-old chili to sake with wasabi. I'm home. You never met a mother quite like this in the morning.
Well, he came in third place, down around 15%.
Oh, man.
And he is expected to drop out of the race today, and he very well may be endorsing John McCain today.
Oh, that's good.
Senator Clinton won the Democratic side of the primary, widely seen as a beauty contest since the Democratic National Committee stripped Florida of its delegates after the state jumped ahead of the Super Tuesday primaries. Ms. Clinton, though, did go there last night, thanked her supporters at an appearance in Davie, Florida, and promised to do everything in her power to have Florida's delegates seated at the convention in Denver.
So much for the endorsement from the old rummy from Massachusetts. Barely made a splash in Florida.
It didn't hold and it didn't help in Florida, but it could later on down the road.
On down the road.
Oh. I couldn't watch it. Didn't she pledge to stay out of that whole Florida thing and not get involved in the delegate deal?
Well, she pledged, as they all, not to campaign in the state, which they couldn't do. But I guess after all the voting was in, well, obviously, she went there.
And here's what you have to remember about Bill Clinton. You can't forget this.
Yeah.
This is a fat, low-rent hillbilly who was getting BJ's from an intern in the Oval Office in the White House who was about the age of his daughter. This is a fat boy who, you know, when he sits down with Chris Wallace, Chris can't punch him because the Secret Service is there. But so he's just a. I don't get that.
Well, he's been accused of rape.
I said he's a low rent, no style. Wouldn't even let him live in most trailer parks.
Sleazebag.
So what's your point?
He's a dirtbag.
What you trying to say?
12 minutes after the hour here on the Imus-WABC program. Time for a little sports. Get back to more news in a second. Bob Gallowstein from 1050 ESPN. There's sports leaders here. You know, Kellerman was going to do it yesterday. Bob?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was the one who suggested that Max do it.
Right. But then his agent got involved. And the wheels quickly came off.
Right. Demanding purple M&Ms and Russian hookers and...
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah, well...
He wanted to sleep somewhere besides the floor of the studio.
Oh, thanks, Godfather. So, Bob, what's going on?
I-Man Mets general manager Omar Minaya is already baseball's executive of the year, and if you're a fan of the Minnesota Twins, get a refund on your season tickets. Minaya stole perhaps the best pitcher in baseball, Johan Santana from the Twins, for 4 prospects: Carlos Gomez, Philip Humber, Kevin Mulvey, and Diois Guerra. Mets now have until late Friday afternoon to negotiate a contract extension. As far as Minnesota is concerned, your club trades Torrey Hunter and now Johan Santana. And you got ripped off by the owner of that team, Carl Pohlad, who extorted the city and state for your tax dollars to build a stadium that should have been privately built, a stadium that should make Pohlad able to afford both Torrey Hunter and Johan Santana. Giants receiver Plaxico Burress made a prediction that the Giants will win the Super Bowl.
Why not? I mean, we didn't come here just to play. We come here to win the game.
His teammate Michael Strahan doesn't mind the boldness of Burris.
No, what do you think? 23-17 Giants? I like the way he thinks. My prediction is we're going to play our best and hopefully live up to his.
New England quarterback Tom Brady said his ankle was fine during yesterday's media day attended by over 4,000 people, one of whom came dressed in a winning gown and proposed to Brady. And the lawyer for former trainer Brian McNamee believes his story accusing Roger Clemens of taking steroids and human growth hormone could be supported by Andy Pettit. Hi, man.
Funny headline in the newspaper, The Onion. You ever read that, Bob?
I've heard of it. I don't read it, no.
Giants say we almost beat the Patriots once. We can almost beat them again.
Actually, that's going to be my prediction.
Coming up on 15 after the hour here in the Imus Morning Program. Mike Lupica, Chip Reed, Senator John Kerry. Godfather's here, Kaz and Tony. This is the current #1 record in America for country music fans. Brad Paisley.
If I could write a letter to me and send it back in time to myself at 17, first I'd prove it's me by saying, look under your bed, there's a Skull can and a Playboy, no one else would know you hid. And then I'd say, I know it's tough when you break up after 7 months. And yeah, I know you really liked her, and it just don't seem fair. But all I can say is pain like that is fast, and it's rare. And oh, you got so much going for you, going right. But I know at 17 it's hard to see past Friday night. She wasn't right for you, and still you feel like there's a knife sticking out of your back, and you're wondering if you'll survive, but you'll make it through this, and you'll see you're still around to write this letter to me. I'm in the morning on 77 WABC.
Tricky getting into work today, getting around town this morning. We've got the cold front moving on through and it's bringing us some wet weather this morning. For the next couple hours, we'll be looking at some rain. But later on, we'll see the rain move on out. We'll actually see a little sunshine breaking through the clouds, but the winds begin to pick up as this front brings us some cooler air. Wind advisory today, 9 o'clock this morning until 5 this afternoon for 20 to 30 mile an hour winds and gusts up to 50. Look for these temperatures to be dropping during the day as well into the upper 30s by this afternoon. Clear skies tonight, low to mid-20s are lows. And then tomorrow with sunshine, up near 40. Another storm headed our way tomorrow night with some snow and sleet to start us off on Friday, changing over to rain as we warm up to 42. Your forecast brought to you by the Expo Design Center. Now through February the 7th, shop Expo's Take It With You sale and save 10% on in-stock merchandise. Choose from thousands of unique products and take them home today. Right now, we've got some light rain. It's 45 degrees. I'm Terry Smith, 77 WABC.
Imus in the morning.
Did that girl say 50-mile-an-hour winds?
Yeah.
When?
Later on today, man. That hawk is going to blow.
22 after the hour here in the Imus Morning Program. Tony Powell in this morning, dressed like a tree.
Thank you, Helen Hayes. I appreciate it.
that is very ugly. Let me just read a little bit of this to you, Charles.
All right.
22 after the hour here in the Imus Morning Program on the radio. On the country, WABC in New York, and RFD TV, and RFD HD, and all that sort of thing. Michael Lupica is one of the most prominent sports writers in America. That's what we were discussing.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. But who else would there be? There's nobody at the Times. I mean, Dave Anderson that's over.
Bessie's singing.
Bessie's senile. Anyway, his longevity, speaking about Mr. Lupica, at the top of his field is based on his experience and insider's knowledge, coupled with a provocative presentation that takes an uncompromising look at the tumultuous world of professional sports.
There you go.
I guarantee that's not a sentence he wrote.
That's but it's our guy.
Yeah. And he writes these books that that wind up being number one on the New York Times bestseller list. Several of them, these young adult deals. And now he's writing politics.
Showing his range.
And this morning he's agreed to call in as he's on his way to Phoenix, Arizona, right, Lippy?
I'm going to Arizona this morning for the big, I don't know if you heard about this, the Giants are playing the Patriots on Sunday. Very big game.
Good morning, Mr. Lupica.
Good morning, Mr. Imus and Mr. McCord, and Tony and everybody.
So, Godfather's here.
My godson, Michael. How are you?
I want to say hi to Mike's dad, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
How is he doing? Tell him he's a little late with the scapadoni, if you know what I mean. When can we expect delivery?
So, Mike, here's what we need from you.
Yes, sir.
We need you to call in because we don't have anybody to send to the Super Bowl as long as you're going.
Yeah.
Apparently for the New York Daily News and maybe ESPN or whatever you're doing. Are you going to do your sports reporter show from there?
Yes.
Okay. Then we need you to call in for us with little reports.
What do you mean little reports?
Well, you know. Well, a report. Just what's going on. It's like a little correspondent person.
You're going to want me to talk to a lot of players?
Whatever you think is. Yeah, well, no, we're not hung up on that. So.
Well.
Just give us an overview of what you think's going on. Like we could maybe start now. What do you think? Like give us an analysis.
Like we were just described your insider's viewpoint of the tumultuous world of sports.
Your insider's knowledge. What would that?
Where did you get that? Where did that come from?
That's your bio.
It is?
Yeah.
That's very impressive. I heard you saying that, and I'm thinking, that's someone I'd like to read.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to file little reports from the Super Bowl.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, clearly we've got some technical problems.
Obviously we have another.
Our microphones aren't working and stuff.
Hey, Chuck,
We thought we heard you say you weren't going to.
Chuck, I said to Don last night, and I know you get these calls, especially on weekends when there's not any big games like the Super Bowl being played.
Yes.
They always begin this way. Do you have a couple of minutes? Now, I always assume that's a rhetorical question.
Of course it is.
25 years. If I'm on the phone, there's no reason other than perhaps a house fire that I would say, no, Don, I don't have time to talk to you right now.
No, you know the drill.
Okay, and here's the kind of calls, and I know you get these calls during the weekend. Luby, do you have ESPN on right now? No, but wait, and then, of course, then you trip over the dog, getting over to the television set to turn on and see what is this crucial breaking news that's on ESPN, and here's what it is. It's a close-up of Bill Belichick. He's saying, what's the deal with that thing on Belichick's lip?
What was it, by the way? What was it?
I don't know. I'm not a dermatologist.
It was a big oozing sore.
Well, it wasn't a big oozing sore, but that's really not the point. And then the phone will ring later when Tigers made a birdie putt. Libby, do you have the golf on? No, but let me get it on. Okay. And then I put it on, and this is the first question. Why is Tiger Woods so good? What does that
Loopy, the sad thing is I get the same calls in almost the same phrasing.
And then he'll say, I got to call Loopy. I got to later.
Yeah, it's like being asked, hey, Daddy, where does the wind come from?
Hey, can you hang on a minute? I got to do some spots. We'll come out and talk about Rudy, all right?
Okay.
All right, Mike Lupica here. The Imus Wayne program, 27 after the hour. I still love this record. Maybe I'll have the Fly Mississippi, the Fly North Alabama do this one. All right.
We've been together since way back when. Sometimes I never want to see you again. But I want you to know, after all these years, you're still the one I want whispering in my ear. You're still the one I want to talk to in bed. Still the one that turns my head. We're still having fun, and you're still the one I miss in the morning.
The leader of the vast right-wing conspiracy, Rush Limbaugh. Today, noon to 3 on 77 WABC.
Okay,
Okay, here we go. If you're listening right now,
Tuesday.
Is your hat on backwards?
No, it's not correct.
Looks like it is. That really is a stupid-looking hat, but...
It's custom made for me in Durango.
Oh, I know that, but that doesn't mean it's a great-looking hat. It's because they're...
Bob,
well, what it means is there's only one of them, thank God. Because it's custom-made, so you won't be seeing a bunch of them.
I guess to take some hat-wearing lessons from you, then.
You look like Woody in Toy Story.
Yes, he does. I mean, it's smart. No, that's enough sports. It's a quarter after the hour here on the Imus-WABC program. It's the great Levon Helm.
Nominee, and then you give it a lot of reflection, and nobody runs for it, and the candidate has to have total, absolutely open choice as to whoever they think is the best.
Senator, in other words, yes. What? In other words, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
But McCain agreed and stressed to the audience that he thought Giuliani had run an honorable campaign.
12 minutes after the hour here in the Imus in the morning program. Time for a little sports. Some Bob Gallowstein, 1050 ESPN Sports Leader. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning, I-Man. And while the Giants' Plaxico Burress now has a swollen knee to go with his chronic right ankle injury, the Patriots' Tom Brady was questioned about his constant right shoulder ailment.
The woman in the wedding dress.
I'm in love with you.
Are you really?
Will you marry me, please?
Wow.
Marry me,
That's a proposal.
Stop it, Lou. Lou, stop it.
That's today's.
That's the wrong cut, Lou.
Okay.
Well, what happened?
Yes, go to
I see the problem.
February 1st file. Yes.
I see the problem, and here we go.
I think the right shoulder's probable.
Yeah.
A little fatigued, so, we're going to be going out and trying to move around the best I can and make all the throws. I don't think the ankle's truly a problem.
Yes, and the New York teams haven't been a problem for Boston area clubs the last few years. Red Sox have 2 World Series titles the last few years. Celtics recently destroyed the Knicks. Domination.
You guys are all planning a victory parade for the Giants for Tuesday, right?
Oh, I'm not planning a victory parade.
Oh, of course you are. You're as big a homer as any of them.
I am a homer, but I'm a realist. When I walk in the door in this studio, I'm a realist. And I'm actually going to predict...
Not with that hat on, you're not. You're the range fairy with that hat on. Come